Okay, we're at the pond, the stock tank that is above the other one that we was digging earlier. And of course you can see here the other day that didn't have hardly any water. I mean, it was bone dry, but it had just dried up before I moved up here. And that mud in the middle is, you can just take a bar and sit on top of the mud and it just almost goes to the bottom, and all of this dirt come out of that little old bitty hole. So don't know really what they dug it out with, but that mud there is pretty deep. But the biggest problem is the spillway's washed out on this end of the dam here, and it just won't hold hardly any water. So I come over here when I finished that other one and kind of shaped it and took a few elevation shots just in case it rained. It would be slicked off and I wouldn't have to fool with it. But this is the level of the spillway. It was washed out and real rough. I just kind of knocked it down a little bit where it drain on out of here. But as you can see, the thing doesn't hold 2 foot of water when it's full because the spillway's washed out. It used to be the elevation up here before it washed out, or a cow trail and all that. So what I'm going to do is extend this dam over here, and where that pink flag is in that tree is going to be the elevation of the spillway now, which will add quite a bit of more capacity to the tank. This right here, this elevation right here is going to be the spillway when I extend that dam to where I'm standing now. So that's going to bring water up that dam probably another 4 foot, which is, it's got plenty of dirt there, and it'll still stay out of this wheat field over there where them cattle are. But what it's going to allow me to do, that water will be outside of the hole where that brush is. I want to clear that off this morning to set some stakes, but I'm going to be able to dig as close as that mud as I can, and out there probably 40 foot to 50 foot maybe outside the hole, and make a deep hole back there and just push the dirt back here to one side. You don't want to have to come across that mud with it. That won't work. You don't want it in the wheat field. So there's room to enlarge this hole, and like I say, gain a lot of volume with just putting the spillway back up where it's supposed to be. So you can see how low that is there. That's what the level of the spillway was, but now it's going to be up here. So we'll add that much volume to this, and then if I can get back here in the back, dig a pretty good hole, that'll increase. All this will be whole below this mud here, and just let this be the shallow part of the tank, and the deep part will be back here in the back. So then that way you don't have to fool with that mud, because you're sure not going to take that much mud up that steep dam. You don't want it in the wheat field. You'd have to just load it up and get it out of here. And this is the cheapest way to get him a nice hole back here in the back. Hold a lot of water. All this water comes off of his field, so it's not the ideal situation, but you're always going to have a little silt in here. But all of that can be whole out here. Plumb probably can dig all the way to right in here somewhere where this starts getting muddy. Like I say, I don't know how they could have dug that out with a track hoe and just pushed it over there, but no more hole than it is on top, and a whole pretty good pile of dirt up there, or mud. That's probably a deep little old hole right there. So, but this will make a nice area here, hole. So we'll let y'all see that as we get the brush off of it and get it definitely marked where we're going to dig, and kind of limited where how much dirt I can push out there because there's a fence over there. But I'll get all I can, and I can turn and take some that way. Just leave it opening for the water to go out this side and go around the dam. So we'll let y'all see that one as we start working on it here. Got this thing pretty well designed out like I think it ought to be. The dam will come this way over to these flags. It'll just be extended over to here, and that'll fill all that in where it used to spill. I've got it ripped up and topsoil pushed out of the way in the roots so that dirt will bond. Then this will be the spillway around through these trees when this thing's full. So it'll stand water to this level right here where this flag is, instead of down there where it was busted through and going through the old spillway. Then I'll get all of this dirt, I'll dig all this out from the dozer over to the edge of that mud, build this up, and then I'll put some dirt behind us on this deal over here. We'll cover this up with dirt just to get rid of some dirt. So the spillway is a foot lower than where my pickup is parked there, and that's a little berm there that keeps water from going into the field. I may put a little bit of dirt right there. I mean, I don't have to, just to get that little depth over there, and then the water will be up there where that flag is on that pile of dirt when the thing's full. So it ought to make it'll be 3 times the hole that this is here, or 3 times the capacity after I get this dug out here. All that'll have water in it. I'll move in brush piles. There's a foot of water standing up there around them brush piles. I'll move that, but basically I'm just going to dig right here in a half moon from here to that hole there and get this down as deep as I can below that bottom, what it is right there. Then that'll make him a nice hole and seal this off here. And so we'll let y'all see that as we start putting that in this morning. just about to get the extension on the dam up tall enough. I like a little bit, then I'm going to start putting dirt up there and covering up that brush. But like a little bit more, getting that like I wanted. It's just about up to where the other one is. Time I put the topsoil on there. So I'm getting a little closer to this mud. Here next to this hole is getting pretty good little ways below the mud. push these piles of brush over here so I can cover them up. Over here where I'm going to push these, I'm going to put some dirt on them and cover them up. I'm just getting rid of dirt over here on this side, and it won't hurt to have brush underneath it. It won't have no water up against it or nothing. It'll cause it to leak. So just covering up some brush, getting rid of dirt. Here is where the water comes out of that field, comes down through here, and it's going to go into this tank. I may redirect it a little bit. Make it come more into the center of the tank instead of on the edge. As you can see, it's just really it's cutting through there and going over there and coming back around. I'd rather cut right through here than I can fill all that in with dirt. Cut all them fingers out and stuff and get it. I don't think it'll wash if I make it about a blade wide coming into this tank. That may be the plan anyway.
Let's do a drive-through before we quit for the day. I am in the spillway looking down into the hole. I still need to dig out the channel directing the water into the tank, here to the left. Heading down into the bottom, you can see how far we are below the mud and still going to get it a little deeper. See you tomorrow. Thanks again for watching.
Good morning, thanks for watching Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We're still on the project where we extended the dam and cleaned some of this soil out here and enlarged it and staying out of the mud, and got that all finished up yesterday. Thought it was going to rain, so I went ahead and finished that up. And I've dug this out going up that way. That's where the water comes in. Just kind of flatten that out and make a wider channel for that water to come in. That'll all be underwater when the tank's full. This area out here where this grass is, this will have probably a foot to half a foot of water over this when the tank's full. So 7 foot of water on top of that mud in the deepest spot. And so the hole where I've dug's probably could be 15 foot deep. I hadn't checked it out since I've done it. So going to round this off this morning and dig this out from the dozer over to the edge and kind of extend that dam out and make it more uniform looking. And when I was up there yesterday, I thought that ground looked funny on top of that dam, and that thing has been cleaned out before, and all that's mud up there that's dried. Pretty good soil, pretty good topsoil, looks just like a flower bed. But so this thing's been cleaned out before, and they might have used the excavator, or that's a deep little old hole of mud right there, because you can have hard ground like where that rod's sitting, and you go out there 2 foot, you can't touch the bottom. So it's a deep little old hole right there. So that would have took some doing to try to get that cleaned out and get out with that mud. You wasn't going to push it out because that dam's too steep to climb and the hole's too steep. So you'd about had to load it in something and haul it off. And what we did, we gained so much water by raising the spillway that instead of it being shallow water on top of the mud, it's still pretty deep water. So that'll last a long time. Plus all this out here will hold water. So that's what we're going to do. We'll get this finished up probably around dinner. So we're going to dig this out, and we'll let you see some of that as we're doing that. So thanks again for watching this channel. Bye.